Some places on Earth feel impossible, not because of where they are, but because someone dared to build them there. From monasteries clinging to vertical cliffs, to ancient cities carved deep into stone, humanity has never stopped challenging gravity, logic, or even time itself. These are not the destinations you'll find in guidebooks. They were hidden for centuries, isolated by terrain, forgotten by maps, or protected by those who live there. Each one tells a story of human vision, faith, survival, or sheer defiance. Monuments built not for comfort, but for meaning. So ask yourself, what drives us to build where no one else dares? And how did these places come to exist at all? Join us as we uncover the most daring places humanity has ever built, hidden in plain sight, scattered across the planet, waiting to be seen. Sumela Monastery was built on a steep cliff about 4,000 feet high, offering a stunning view among mountains and clouds all year round. The monastery's architecture is special, with rooms and chapels carved directly into the mountain, connected by narrow hallways and stone stairs. Ancient wall paintings inside show scenes from the Bible and still keep their colors clearly after hundreds of years. According to legend, it was founded after two monks dreamed of the Virgin Mary, who led them to a sacred cave. One mysterious story says that during a big earthquake, the whole mountain shook, but the monastery stayed strong without any damage. Many believe some holy force protects this place, especially since people once heard singing at night, even though no one was inside. Meteora Caves settlements were homes for monks, carved into tall rock columns that rise hundreds of feet into the sky. These tiny cliffside caves could only be reached by rope or climbing, and some were connected by hanging wooden nests in the air. The wild and silent surroundings make this place feel both peaceful and unreal for anyone who visits. An old legend tells of a cave high up that glowed softly at night, even though no flame burned inside. People believed it was where a holy monk reached heaven, leaving sacred energy that lights the cave on moonless nights. Some who climbed near the cave at night said they heard quiet chanting coming from the rock, as if time had never passed there and ancient spirits still continued to pray in eternal silence. Fanjingshan Temple sits on a mountain peak about 7,200 feet high, surrounded by thick clouds and dramatic vertical cliffs. Two temples stand apart on giant rocks called the Golden and Silver Peaks, connected by a narrow stone bridge hanging in mid-air. Legends say that when clouds fully cover the sky, the monk's meditating figure appears as if seated in the air above the mountain. Fogtal Monastery is a strange temple built into a cliff about 2,500 feet high, inside a giant cave deep within the rugged mountains. The view here is amazing, with dry rock walls, deep blue skies, and a small clear stream flowing from the cave even during long dry seasons. In winter, snow covers every path in white, while in summer, the bright sunlight brings out a sharp and wild beauty. The monastery is completely isolated and only reachable by walking, making it feel like a step into another world. It is a sacred place where Buddhist monks meditate and chant in perfect silence, surrounded by pure nature. Many believe the stream flowing from the cliff is holy water, symbolizing purity and deep spiritual energy. Vadzia Monastery was built into a limestone cliff about 1,300 feet high, with more than 600 rooms and hidden corridors carved deep into the side of a steep mountain. The landscape around it has sharp rock ridges and deep valleys shaped by wind and time, forming a dry yet powerful and beautiful mountain scene. Inside the caves, the air stays cool all year, making it a perfect place for monks to meditate and live far away from the noise of the outside world. Vadzia is not only a monastery, but also an ancient underground city with tunnels still unexplored, hiding many secrets without any clear explanation. Many monks meditate in complete silence to hear the voice of the stone, a spiritual link between this physical world and something invisible beyond. Ronda Clifftop Town is an ancient town built on top of a cliff about 300 feet high, where white houses sit close to deep, steep edges. The landscape is stunning, with a 3-level stone bridge connecting the town's two halves, becoming a symbol of strength between rock and humanity. Stone streets, curved iron balconies, and bright-colored walls create a romantic and unique Mediterranean painting. The dry air and bright sunshine make the town shine beautifully under the deep blue sky. A legend says a young woman waited on the cliff for her lover to return from war, but when he never came, she jumped into the valley. Since then, during full moon nights, people say they still see a silent girl with long hair standing at the cliff's edge, a spirit of lost love and waiting. Agashima is a village inside a volcanic crater in the Pacific Ocean, surrounded by tall cliffs and thick forests covering the entire living area. People live completely isolated from the mainland, using heat from the earth for cooking and heating, which is very rare anywhere else. Homes are scattered along the volcanic terrain, designed simply but strongly to resist heavy winds and rains. Even though isolated, the locals maintain a strong community life and hold yearly ceremonies to thank nature and pray for peace. Some say they have seen flickering lights like fire at night, along with strange sounds coming from deep inside the mountain. Amadia is on a limestone plateau about 3,900 feet high, surrounded by steep cliffs and deep valleys that create a stunning and unique view. Stone houses are tightly connected, shaped by the land, making the village look like it grew naturally from ancient rock. From the top, you can see endless mountain ranges and the glowing red sunrise rising above a sea of morning mist. A legend says a magical sword that controls wind was hidden by a king under a stone tower and his spirit returns when danger threatens the village. Fogtal Mountain Chalets is located in a high mountain area surrounded by pine forests and steep rock cliffs, creating a wild and majestic view. The traditional wooden houses stand among snowy nature, with open views of snowy mountains and curving valleys, especially in winter when everything turns pure white. Some old chalets are left empty forever because people believe the spirits of former owners still live there, guarding the mountain's peace. Svalbard Global Seed Vault is deep inside a frozen mountain in the far north, at a safe height to avoid rising sea levels. The scenery is striking with snowy mountain ranges, dark Arctic skies, and northern lights that sometimes appear like a view from another planet. Temperatures stay below freezing, and the ground is permafrost, helping to keep seeds safe without using advanced technology. Inside the vault are over 1 million seed samples, seen as a backup for life in case a global disaster happens. Even though it is a scientific project, the quiet space, long winter darkness, and extreme weather give it a sacred and mysterious feeling. Many people compare it to a life tomb, where seeds are resting and waiting to wake up and restore the world if needed. Podo village is nestled on a mountainside with traditional stone houses built from natural rocks, blending perfectly with the surrounding landscape. The village is uniquely situated between mountain peaks and vast forests, creating a pristine and beautiful natural scene. In the fall, the leaves turn vibrant colors, while in winter, the entire village is often covered in white snow, creating a serene atmosphere. The winding roads in the village lead to ancient houses, almost completely isolated, maintaining their untouched beauty for centuries. The locals live primarily from farming and livestock, preserving traditions passed down for hundreds of years, creating a close-knit, self-sustaining community. Burro's floating homes are about 2,500 feet above sea level, made entirely from reeds and floating quietly on deep blue water. The landscape is clear and peaceful, with still waters like mirrors reflecting the sky, surrounded by tall reeds, swaying with the wind. People live on man-made islands, built from stacked reeds, without foundations, yet strong enough to resist harsh winds and highland weather. They believe each floating island is a part of Mother Earth's body, passed down by ancestors, and must be treated with balance and respect. Some have seen faint lights drifting across the lake at night, believed to be ancestor spirits returning to visit the homes they once created. Wakina Desert Oasis is surrounded by sand dunes over 300 feet high, with a green lake standing out in the middle of the endless desert. The view is stunning, with sand dunes shifting shapes in the wind, creating a living natural scene that changes all the time. The lake in the heart of the oasis reflects the blue sky and offers a rare stop in the harsh sun and dry wind. Locals believe the lake is sacred and protected by the spirit of a princess who turned into water after losing her beloved. On full moon nights, some say they have seen a woman in white walking by the lake, a spiritual symbol guarding the oasis. Hihei Castle was built on a hill about 150 feet high, standing out in nature with its pure white shape like a flying crane. The entire area is surrounded by moats, stone walls, and gardens, forming a space that feels both strong and peaceful, like an old painting. In spring, hundreds of cherry trees bloom around the castle, turning it into a legendary flower viewing spot, loved for many centuries. Inside, the structure is like a maze with angled halls, turning gates, and hidden paths that confuse enemies trying to enter. Some underground rooms under the stone base remain unexplored, giving the feeling that the castle still hides secrets from the past. Locals believe the castle is protected by mountain energy, and traditional ceremonies are still held to bring peace and harmony to the land. Mount Athos stands alone on a peninsula in northern Greece, rising nearly 6,700 feet, like a natural fortress between forests and the sea. It is surrounded by steep cliffs overlooking the deep blue Aegean Sea, dense forests, and deep valleys that create a mystical and ancient landscape. The climate is mild year-round, and sunlight shining on the stone monasteries highlights the sacred and peaceful beauty of this place. This area is considered the most sacred site of Eastern Orthodox Christianity, where monks live in seclusion and practice deep spiritual devotion. People believe this is the Garden of the Virgin Mary, where women are not allowed to enter in order to preserve absolute purity. The villages on the Simeon Mountains are over 13,000 feet high, surrounded by steep cliffs and deep valleys, creating a truly breathtaking landscape. The houses are built with dry mountain stones and have thick grass roofs to protect from strong winds and year-round frost at this dangerous height. Paths around the village are narrow trails that follow cliff edges, only wide enough for one person, with no guardrails at all. People here survive by farming on terraced fields and raising animals, showing a strong life spirit against wild nature. An old legend tells of a monk who lived alone on the highest peak, where wind often sounded like voices speaking from the sky. One day, the monk disappeared, and just days later, a landslide destroyed half the village, making that sacred peak feared ever since. Kulu Canyon Terraces is an ancient terrace system stretching along dry mountain slopes and steep cliffs in one of the world's deepest canyons. The landscape is stunning, with rice layers stacked like giant waves, surrounded by flowing mountain streams and clouds drifting close to the earth. The terraces are made of stone and watered by accurate gravity-fed channels, still working perfectly for hundreds of years without modern technology. Amazingly, these terraces are still farmed today, showing perfect harmony between people and the tough terrain. A legend says, a girl once offered gifts to pray for rain, got lost in thick fog, and never returned. Since then, during dry seasons, locals place flowers on the rocks to honor the sacred spring spirit they believe she became. Ping'an Rice Terrace Village is a traditional wooden village located among rice terraces ranging from about 520 feet to over 3,600 feet high on green mountain slopes. The landscape changes by season, with spring water mirrors, green summer rice, golden autumn fields, and winter covered in misty white clouds. The brown wooden stilt houses are scattered across the rice waves, connected by narrow stone paths winding along the hillsides. A legend says the terraces are the body of an ancient dragon, and every harvest season its spirit rises into clouds and mist above the fields. People believe that if the water flow is disturbed, the dragon becomes angry, causing crops to fail. So every stream is carefully protected like the mountain's soul. Llamas Castle is a unique castle located on a hilltop in Peru's Amazon rainforest, featuring striking European-style architecture surrounded by lush tropical nature. Around the castle are pristine green forests, rolling hills, and beautiful winding rivers, creating scenery that is both mysterious and wonderfully poetic. Local people believe the castle holds mystical energy that attracts spirits of the Amazon jungle and the gods who protect nature in the region. Oyakon Cold Settlement sits at about 2,400 feet and is one of the coldest inhabited places on Earth, with temperatures dropping as low as 90 degrees F. The area is covered in snow all year, with frozen lakes and only a few hours of sunlight during winter days. The air is so cold that spit can freeze in seconds, making survival completely dependent on nature. They burn fire all night and hang fur charms around homes to stay safe from dark forces said to live in the sacred ice columns. Some say they've heard whispers from the ice at dusk, believed to be ancestral spirits, guiding the way to life in extreme cold. Agadez Fortress City stands in a dry desert land, with tall, mud brick walls and strong defensive architecture lasting through many centuries. The surroundings include golden sand dunes, cracked rocky hills, and dry valleys, creating a harsh but fascinating space for adventure lovers. Locals believe that tunnels under the city hide ancient treasures, only revealed to those who are respectful and spiritually connected. Before traveling into the desert, locals offer small gifts in rituals, asking ancestors for protection and safe passage through dangerous paths. Elto Cliff settlements are more than 13,000 feet high, where homes cling to steep cliffs between strong winds and clouds floating at eye level. The area is dry and cold, filled with grey rocks, red dust, and short shrubs, creating a wild and unforgettable landscape for visitors. At night, millions of stars fill the sky, and many call this place the largest natural planetarium viewable by the human eye. Local people believe these cliffs are home to ancient gods, and every home must go through a sacred permission ritual before being built. Some say they've seen soft blue lights glowing from the rocks on moonless nights, believed to be spirits guarding this sacred land. Cherupji root bridges are unique living root bridges that stretch across deep streams, made from rubber tree roots, guided through humid mountain forests. The landscape is stunning, with bridges up to 100 feet long, winding through mist, surrounded by lush jungle and the sound of flowing water all year. These bridges aren't built with stone or wood, but are grown by locals, guiding routes across water, taking about 30 years to complete. The strange thing is, the roots stay alive, grow stronger with time, and turn each bridge into a living part of the forest. Each day, the route stretched farther, and it became the first bridge, believed to be a sacred gift from the forest to connect people across dangerous cliffs. The houses in Valparaiso sit high on cliffs over 1,000 feet, built along the hills, facing the wide and powerful Pacific Ocean. The weather is mild year-round, and soft morning light shines on the colorful homes, creating a lively painting floating in the sky. Winding steep roads move between mountains and sea, giving the feeling of walking through a floating maze, both wild and charming. Many houses are decorated with bright murals that tell stories and beliefs, connecting the past with the present through every layer of color. When strong winds blow, They believe it is a message from the sea and mountains, reminding people of their deep bond with nature. Taos Pueblo stands out with adobe buildings up to 5 stories tall, surrounded by dry valleys and wild mountains. The whole settlement has no electricity or running water, preserving ancient ways of life for thousands of years in harsh conditions. The houses are made of clay, straw, and water, with a reddish-brown color that keeps them warm in winter and cool in summer. A legend says there is a sacred lake that connects the living with their ancestors, where spirits return on nights with a full moon. Hihei Cliff homes are built on seaside cliffs about 300 feet high, where people live right at the edge, facing the vast ocean. Residents cannot drive to their homes, but must climb stairs or use ropes to carry supplies and reach their houses every day. The walls are made completely by hand, using local wood and stone, tied with ropes, without any cement or modern tools for safety. During high tide, ocean waves crash directly against the base of the houses, creating a view that feels both dangerous and majestic. A legend says the sea god protects those brave enough to live on these cliffs, so the area is seen as a land of courage and resilience. Indigenous villages cling to the side of Mount Roraima at over 9,000 feet high, creating a stunning scene between white clouds and steep cliffs. The houses are built from forest wood and thatched roofs, blending with the rainforest, and adapted to the harsh highland climate. People live self-sufficiently in the jungle, farming, hunting, and performing ancient rituals like rain dances and mountain god offerings. A young hunter once saw a stone bridge leading from the mountaintop to the sky, but as he stepped on it, the bridge vanished into thick mist.